I just wanted to welcome you all to our first How to Adult session, focusing on procrastination. Well, our only one focusing on procrastination. I just wanted to do a quick acknowledgement of country. So I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Aurora Nation, whose ancestral lands our city campus now stands. I would also like to pay respect to the elders, both past and present, acknowledging them as traditional custodians of the land. I just want to do a quick Zoom etiquette checklist, just so we're all on the same page of our behaviour that we expect. We'd like ideally everyone to be kind of in a well-lit space if you're going to be on camera, just in case anyone is hard hearing, so they have an opportunity to read your lips if they can't quite hear you. Make sure you mute yourself so there's no background noise, but I think everyone's doing that now anyway. So remember, just because we're online, the UTS values and code of conduct are the same. Be yourself and be respectful of others. If you have questions, you could pop them in the chat. So you can click on the chat icon and it'll kind of pop out. Marvin is also a co-host of this meeting, so if you can send it to the co-host, and then you can use reactions to engage, or if you're in the video, you can do thumbs up along the way. And then yeah, Marv, you good to go?
Absolutely, Emily. Thanks for the intro. Hey guys, how are you going? How are you feeling? How are you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm Marvin. Thanks for coming here and looking to break up with your pesky procrastination habit. Or are you just joining this so you can say you did some sort of webinar thing to tell your friends that, oh yeah, I did the webinar thing, but it didn't work. I'm still a procrastinator. Oh, forever hopeless. Yeah. So if guys, this is a small group, so we can do a lot here. We can have, I really want this to be a conversation where I'm not just here telling you, lecturing you everything I know about procrastination and all these things and hacks, but I really want to get in your world and I want to know what's going on for you. I want to get to know your fears, your desires, what's happening in your worlds, where you're currently at, because we've had this crazy thing happen recently called COVID-19. And it's shocked the world. Everyone's been disrupted by it in some way. So yeah, just go around. I'd love for you to introduce yourself. Leonie, you can go first. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Leonie. I work at...
What do you study?
Oh, sorry?
What do you study?
I don't. I work at ActivateUTS.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, great.
Hi.
Thanks for being here, Leonie. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Vicky, who are you? What do you study? What do you want to get out of today?
I also work for ActivateUTS.
Cool.
I'm actually working while I listen to this, so I'm really sorry if I don't answer straight away on anything, but I really hope to break up with procrastination because I've got a lot of shit to do. Sorry, I apologize. I've got a lot of stuff to do.
Okay, great. So apparently it's okay to swear. Thank you, Vicky, giving us permission from ActivateUTS. All right, Caroline, hello.
Hi, I'm doing an exchange semester at UTS.
Great. Where are you from originally?
Psychology back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And is Amy, Janice, or the other Emily here? Oh yeah. Emily.
I work alongside Mackie, Vicky, and Leo, and Janice and Amy at ActivateUTS. And I studied at UTS. So, and I guess from this session, I guess same thing as Vicky, to know how to reduce procrastination because I've got a fair bit of work to do.
Okay, great. That's good. Are Amy or Janice here? If not, that's great. That's great.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Amy.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Leonie, Emily, and Emily's manager. So
cool.
Just to see how this session goes, and I'm looking forward to yeah, hearing your thoughts on procrastination.
Oh, this is This is great. It's like a team session
It is.
for Activate UTS. We've got some
Very much
students
so.
attending as well. All right. That's great. So first of all, I've got a question for you. Who here has ever procrastinated? Just put your hand up. Yeah. Okay. Who has ever done chores around the house because they're procrastinating? Who here has ever been doing their work and then all of a sudden they're going along fine and then Facebook pops up on your screen out of nowhere? Yeah. So who would find some sort of use to break up with procrastination? Yes, absolutely. That's great. And I feel privileged to be able to spend some of this time with you. And as we get into this, I've got a little tool, a worksheet, which we're going to go through. And I'm wondering who here has ever been saying that they're going to eat healthy, and then the slightest amount of stress hits them, and then all of a sudden you end up with a fat slab of cake in your mouth. That's great. That means you're all human beings, and that's what we're working with. We're working with something called the human condition, the condition of being human. And it's great. It's great. It gives us our emotions, and it gives us our logical brain, which says, hey, I shouldn't eat this, but also the emotions which say, oh, and then these two things seem like they're at war. And it can feel like you're riding on a motorbike and you're on the back seat, and then some other crazy person is driving your life around on the front seat of this motorbike, and you go, why are you doing this? And that is the thing that we're constantly wrestling with, this condition of being human. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself first. So I'm a little boy from Wagga. I came from humble country town beginnings, and my journey into becoming a coach. And this is what I do with people. I work one-on-one with people. I get why are they eating that fat slab of cake, and I help them to feel more confident, find their purpose, and live with passion every single day. And my journey really starts with my mum. So my mum has got a disease called multiple sclerosis, and she was diagnosed when I was quite young. And her disease kind of went downhill, and she kept on getting more physical limitations in what she could do. And then all of a sudden, mum and dad went off to this 5-day course thing, and they went there, and they were learning all these new things from this guy who'd overcome terminal cancer a couple of times. And they came home and they filled the pantry with all this healthy food. The fridge looked different. And then they started meditating. I was like, what can I eat in the house? I couldn't eat anything because they'd gone vegan before it was even cool, right? Vegan plus fish. Before it was this craze, right? So we were the weird family, not eating all the yummy foods at the parties. And then they started meditating. And I remember clearly this one day, where the house just felt completely different. And it's because mum and dad had got united on their purpose. And I saw my mum's health improve drastically. She was at the stage of her disease where she wasn't going to improve, and she was struggling to walk down the hallway. And then with diet change and a change of her mindset, she was able to go from struggling to walk down the hallway to walking 2 kilometers a day. So that's when I first thought, hang on a minute, there's something about all this mindfulness, mental health, mindset, and diet. There's something about this. And that's when it first sparked my interest. And then since then, I came off to uni in Wollongong. I did an engineering degree. I worked for Red Bull. I've spent time living with the royal family in the United Arab Emirates. And I've also made videos and won a free trip to Europe. And so along that journey, I noticed that all of this stuff is happening for a reason. Now, I finished my degree and I was so unhappy in my job. I was getting migraines at work. Like I had a permanent crease in my forehead, or what felt like a permanent crease. And I was getting migraines at work, and I just felt totally unhappy. And that's because I wasn't following something I was really, really passionate about. And so that's when I had enough, and I was like, hang on, I got to go work with people. And that's when I became a coach. And so today we're going to be looking into procrastination, why you do what you do, and a system for you to overcome the barriers in your life. How does that sound? Pretty good. Cool. All right. So we'll start this thing off. I want you to all just, while you're sitting there, I want you to just close your eyes. We'll start with this a little meditation. Okay. So I want you to all just close your eyes. right now where you are. It's okay. I'm still here. I'm with you. Great. So just close your eyes, and I want you to relax your jaw. So maybe massage your face a little bit, relax some of your jaw, start to breathe a little bit deeper. Relax your jaw muscles, stop clenching, maybe move some of that face, release some of the tension. And I want you to focus on your right big toe. And now I want you to focus on your second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, the fifth toe. And now focus on your left big toe and your second toe, and your third toe, and your fourth toe, and your fifth toe. And now I want you to let the feeling come back up through your body and end up in a thinking posture and go, And you find out why we're doing that, because that's great. Because we're going to have some fun here today. We got to be curious about what this whole procrastination thing is. What can I learn here? Great. All right. So I want you to unmute yourself. I want you to tell me, I'm asking you, what are rules for? Rules are meant to be
Broken.
Followed.
Rules are meant to be
Followed.
Followed.
Rules are meant to be
Broken.
No, they're meant to be followed.
I was saying.
Great. You got it. You did exactly what I expected you to do. You walked right into my trap. Great. So I got some rules of the game. Now I'm wondering if you can read that. Can you read that? It looks flipped on my screen. But can you read these? Kind of. I got messy writing, right? So rule number 1 is you've got to take notes. You've got to take notes of this thing. And so there are 3 kinds of notes that you can take. There's the feather. And the feather is that moment when you're just going about your day and a thought of a friend pops into your head. And you say, wow, I really should call them and get in touch with them again. But then you're really busy, and then you get busy cleaning the couch, feeding your cat, cleaning the middle part of your car, doing some isolation puzzles. And all of a sudden, that afternoon, they call you out of nowhere. And it's so weird. I was thinking about you today. That's the feather. It's a little brush on the side of the face. And then the second way you can take notes is there's the brick. And now this one hits a little differently. And this one is, it might be an argument you have with a family member. It might be having a meeting with your manager about your performance, and it doesn't go quite as well as you hope. Or it might be having to do an all-nighter on an assignment that you've left to the last minute. That's the brick. And then the third level of this is the truck. And now this one hits a whole lot differently. And the truck is something that you'll most certainly recognize in your life. And it might be a moment when you're getting broken up with, where your friend's getting to a place where they're causing damage to themselves. Or it could be when you are just so unhappy in a job and you're getting migraines. And I think that everyone's been hit by a truck recently with this whole lockdown. And what we're seeing is everybody is realizing who they are being for themselves. Because the quality of your life is how you treat yourself when you are by yourself. Quality of your life is how you treat yourself when you are by yourself. And everybody is realizing how they treat themselves. And some people, it's just a little feather. Oh, wow, they're very kind to themselves. Some people treat themselves and they hit themselves with bricks all the time. Oh, you should be doing this. You really got to be doing. And other people are hitting themselves with a big truck. Why aren't I good enough? Why does no one love me? And there are people at varying levels of this all across the world now. And so rule number 1 is take notes. You've got to take notes of this stuff, because ending up with 100 kilos of extra weight on you doesn't just happen overnight. There's the feather, there's the brick, and there's the truck all along the way. Okay, and the second thing is play full out, because we're in this webinar thing. You could just turn your camera off and you can just hide out in the background. But if you're going to play full out, I want you to be here with me, get responsive. If you have any questions, jump in. This isn't a normal lecture. I want you to jump in, and because you're here, you've got me now, demand the best coaching, the best procrastination experience you got. This is yours. It's on you completely to get the results that you want from this. And so you must reach out and get this happening. And then the third one is you got to have fun. That's why I was like, end the meditation with this. Wow. Because you guys came here and you were like, okay, this is serious. I'm going to break up with procrastination now. This is it. I'm never procrastinating ever again. And this is going to be, yep. After this, I'm an A player. Now you've got to have fun. That's way too serious for this. Okay. Come on. Rule number one is set your vibe. And how do you want your vibe to be? And I love a really fun, playful vibe. Now, I'm not sure what it's like in your workplace for ActivateUTS, but I hope you're really having fun there. You're bringing it to the students. That's what we're all about. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a little document here that I've chucked it in the chat there. You can all have a look at it. Have you all got it? You can unmute yourself. Hello? Is anybody there? Hello?
It's me.
Hey, wow. Human? Wow. So special to see other humans during this time. Wow. Great. So have you got that? Everyone clicked on it?
Yeah.
This is 6 steps to clarity. There are only 6 steps for you to move toward clarity. Marvin, why are you talking about clarity? I don't want to talk about clarity. I want to talk about my procrastination patterns. Okay. Well, so far you have been in a state of when you procrastinate, that's not the problem. Procrastinating for you is actually your solution to dealing with a feeling of uncertainty within you. Procrastinating is your solution, you freaks. So what's an alternate solution we can use instead of procrastinating? Well, that could be clarity, because that's all we want. We want to know everything about what we're about to do. And we want to be completely certain about it before we do anything. But because we're not there, we procrastinate. And so how can we frame our brain and get the logical part of our brain as well as the emotional side of our brain to get that clarity about this whole situation? Okay, and so number one is to get curious. Because we must be curious about this. Has everyone, we came into this call and we were really serious about it, we weren't playful, we were like, okay, this is it. I'm never procrastinating again. I'm going to be really hard on myself. That doesn't sound very fun. That gives me wrinkles in my forehead. Ugh, ouch. And so the first question is to ask yourself, you got to get into this state of play, this state of curiosity. When was the last time you tried something for the first time? And take notes from this blank slate. So ask yourself, what have you been noticing? And so I've been doing something groundbreaking since this isolation. I've been doing my morning notes where I just open my book, a little book, and I just fill up pages. So here we go. And I've been filling up pages with writing just to see what's going on in my mind. And in doing that, it allows all of this mess of tangled thoughts to go somewhere. And then all of a sudden, I've organized some of the library of my mind. And, you know, taking these morning notes, I just write about 2 pages, 2 A4 pages. And all of a sudden, my brain feels organized. This is what I'm finding challenging. This is what's good. And I hope you guys are taking notes right now. Write some of this stuff down. And then this is an opportunity for you. Great. I love it. I'm glad, Vicky. This is an opportunity for you to learn about how your mind works. Because I think it's that most people have 90 or 95% of the same thoughts as yesterday. And if you start to write down your morning thoughts, and the way you do this is I might write, Okay, so I'm sitting here, I'm really bored. I hate writing these morning notes. It makes me feel like crap. Oh, that's a release. I feel better now that I've written that. I'm staring at this wall. I'm staring at this wall. And it's a constant stream of thought. Just don't stop writing. Don't judge your writing and just keep on writing. I'm staring at this wall. I'm staring at this wall. And then maybe something else will pop into your head and then pop that down, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be the most perfect, eloquent, poetic speech coming from your mind. Just plonk it out there and then you can go, ah, that was interesting. So this is going to be your assignment straight after this. Number one, take notes. Just write out what's in your head. And then you can let me know how that goes. And then also ask yourself, what challenges are you facing? What's going on? What's pulling at your attention at the moment? Are you guys following? Give me a unmute and yeah. Give me a yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woohoo. Any questions?
Nope.
Cool. What's the challenge that one of you guys are facing at the moment with procrastinating? Emily.
Trying to make deadlines, I guess, and
Okay,
procrastinating because I can't get myself to do it.
Okay, tell me more.
I have to get some content ready for an event by end of today, and obstacles kept popping up and I couldn't find the right content. So I had procrastinated yesterday and did something else instead. So now it's backtracked and I have to get it all done today.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
I was meant to find inspirational stories to motivate students, but I wasn't getting motivated myself reading those stories, so I didn't think a student would get motivated as well. So I had to redo it. Questioning the length of writing these stories, whether it's too much, if it's too short, and trying to make it as relatable to students as possible. So I guess that's the big challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's other aspects to it which are a bit more fun, but I guess I'm doing the hard part now so I can do the easy parts later on when the cognitis hits and I can't do much work.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you for sharing. So what's the problem?
Problem is trying to meet a deadline of 5 p.m. for content.
Is it?
And I'm procrastinating because I can't seem to get on the right track.
Okay, what's the right track? You see how around this, when you've been speaking. Now this is a perfect example, Emily. You are doing amazing. You're doing great. You see how much of a story you've got about the different things, and then like you need a bit more of this inspiration. It didn't really sit with me here. There's a big story around what you're doing, what's not working, what's working, and it takes a little bit for you to even conceptualize as well as us. Yeah. And so Einstein said that that if he had 1 hour to solve a problem, he would spend 55 minutes defining that problem. And so most of the time when I get clients, I'm having a chat with them and they need to tell me this lengthy story about something in their life that happened and now they're feeling this way. And they don't even know what the problem is themselves. I'm like, why are you coming to me? And they're like, they tell me a really big story because they don't even know how to define their problem. And so because I'm not on the right track, because I'm not feeling focused and curious about my work, because I can't get in the shoes of these students and really and see that they want this content, or getting more specific about what your problem is will help you solve it. So that's what step 2 is, define the problem. And in these morning notes, when you're writing things out, all of a sudden this problem, this thing that's plonked onto the page, you can say, I get uncertain when I don't know exactly what to do, or when I'm searching, or when I can't see a clear path forward. So getting it down in one sentence, one clear sentence, all of a sudden your brain can come up with millions of solutions. Or I feel like crap working from home. This could be it. I feel like crap working from home. Or I just feel like crap working from home today. Or I don't want to do this one task. I'm procrastinating is such a vague thing. Like, what is procrastinating? It's delaying now and putting it in the future. But I feel uncertain because of this. So getting really specific and down to it, that's what your notes can do for you. We all on the same page? Have you got a problem, Caroline? Have you had a look at what's going on in your life? What could you define as your one sentence?
Well, I always do multiple things at the same time, so that's a problem. Yeah.
Okay. I do multiple things at the same time.
Yeah. As you said, to be curious, but that's my problem. I'm too curious, so.
Too curious. Okay. Yeah, great. Are you using distracted instead of curious?
Both. Definitely both.
I'm curious, and so curious that I'm not curious about the one thing I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So I want to do the 5 things, and that's great. We're going to be getting more into that. Okay, so then the next step is, once you've defined your problem clearly, you might have a whole lot of problems. Okay, you might have 12 or something like that. But you don't even know you've got 12 because you haven't defined any of them. You've just got these things that keep on happening for some bloody reason. Why does this keep happening? So that's why it's really good to get definite on it. Mm-hmm. Okay, next we move to step 3, which is all about focus. And so right now I want you to all take a look around your room, and I want you to see if you can find the color brown. I just want you to look and take a look around and notice everything that's brown. Notice everything that's brown. Brown, brown, brown. Can you see everything is brown? And keep track of where it is. Okay, you're wearing brown. Okay, great. Now, did anyone tell me, look back at me, no cheating. Tell me where the color green is.
I have plants everywhere.
Okay, no, you're looking for them.
No, it's to my
No
left.
cheating. Okay, now great. Now have a look around and notice all the green you didn't notice when you first looked for brown. If there's any green. You look like you got a gray background there. I don't know if you got any green.
Did consume a green drink before.
Oh yeah, it's inside of you. In your belly. Yeah. And so, you've got a green water bottle, Caroline.
Yeah.
And so, until you focus on it, you can't even see it. Did you notice something? Something green that you didn't notice when you were looking for brown? Who did? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You didn't notice the thing you weren't looking for. So, maybe it's like when you're at a cafe and you hear someone talking about your favorite TV show. And then it's really noisy in there, and then you hear the name of the boom, bing, goes off, and you hear it. That's because that's in your perception. It's already there for you. Or when you're in a really busy room or a crowd and you hear your name, you snap your neck around to, who said that? That's the power of focus, because it's like a homing signal. It's like they can take a homing pigeon, drive it so far away in a box, and then they just let the pigeon out. It circles around 3 times and then it heads straight for home. This is what focus can do for you. And so this is the logical part. So there are 4 questions here. So Emily, this could be good for you. The first one is, what is your outcome? What is your outcome? To
Am
deliver.
I answering? as we
Yeah, you
go
can.
through?
Let's make it up.
My outcome would be getting content done by 5 p.m.
Okay, that sounds dismal. That sounds horrible. Wow.
What manager is he?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying that doesn't sound fun for you, right? Getting content done by 5. Like, yeah, that's going to happen. But the outcome could be, if we add that get curious element to it, is to search for something that would inspire me to help inspire students.
Yeah.
Create your outcome to be something that inspires you. And then the second question in this focus is, what are you afraid of? Because often everyone's like, focus on what you want, just focus on the goal. But there are these things in the background which lurk in, and then we end up with a slab of cake in our mouth. It's like, so what are you afraid of?
Not making the deadline, I guess, and also not finding the right content for students.
And then what makes you uncomfortable?
The thought of not making the deadline.
Yeah.
Because then I get stressed and then I procrastinate and then I end up with a big slab of cake in my mouth.
Oh yeah, yum. Stressful. You don't even enjoy the cake, do you? It's just in your mouth. Yeah. And then, so you've got your outcome. Oh, I forgot to see in the define your problem, there's what do you desire as well. So when you define your problem, you also got to look at what do you desire? What do you want in this to do? What are these things that are sticking out to you? Because with your focus, I can't teach you to love a job that you currently hate. That is not aligned with your passions. That is not aligned with your purpose. Because as you go through life, it's like you're walking down a hallway and everyone goes through the same hallway. There are hundreds of doors down each side and different ones glimmer to you. And those are your shiny doors. Those are the things that interest you. And you've got to pick which doors are interesting to you. And if you're doing something that isn't one of your shiny doors, that isn't one of your passions, then it's difficult. You're not doing things for yourself. You're doing it for other people, likely, unless you can find purpose in doing that. And that'll get to the next stage, which is feel your purpose. So the last part is, what would a high performance person do, Emily?
Set, I guess, smaller goals to complete, and I guess feel accomplished throughout the day. So I'm not setting a huge goal to accomplish. So having goals and just smaller deadlines. It's not just getting content done by 5 p.m. Probably just, find a inspirational story by 12:30 and read it by 1:30 and summarize it by 2:30. So just break it down, probably.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. Look at these kinds of questions we're asking. See, this sheet is just a bunch of questions, but it's following a certain formula, right? So this side of focus, I've looked at it and I've been like, okay, so this is kind of the logical side. Okay, this is what I'm afraid of. This is what I want. This is what's actually happening for me. This is what a high performance person would do. Right, that's the logical side. Yeah, okay, I get those steps, Marvin. But what's next? Next, we need to integrate the emotional side, because the cake ends up in your mouth because of an emotional thing. And the emotional thing is really human. And next step 4 is to feel your purpose. So I've got a question for everyone. What were you put on this planet to do? It's a big question. Is it? Maybe it's a small one. I don't know. What were you put on this planet to do? And if you could, I know you don't know. A lot of you probably, I don't know. Yeah, but if you did know, what would it be? If you just make it up. Yeah. Okay, so then the second line of it says, set your intention. So a way of making this question easier for you is, what is my intention? Because an intention is just like a little purpose, and your intention could just be for this day. What was that, Emily? You're shaking your head. I don't know my purpose. I don't know. You see, I've done a bit of looking, and I've wondered, hey, Marvin, what is my purpose? What is it? And I was searching around, and I was like, okay, it's to be the most energetic person in the world. I was like, okay, great. Oh, that's so exhausting. I don't want to be energetic all the time. So that's putting a lot of constraints on it. That's like, oh, I need to be energetic all the time. Oh, that's hard. So you got to make it something that can be achievable now. So my purpose is to be a beacon of energy, to enjoy now, and to stimulate the growth of humanity for myself and others. And the beacon of energy doesn't mean high energy. It could just mean that the right amount of energy for the circumstances is to enjoy now, so I can be present right here with you guys. And so I can stimulate the growth. I don't even have to do the growing. I just got to get you guys to move one step forward, stimulate it. How cool is that? So it's all something that can be achieved in a now phenomenon. And that's what this Feel Your Purpose section is about. What were you put on this planet to do? Oh yeah, great. I was put on this planet to enjoy myself. How cool is that? Wow. And so has everybody got a little purpose statement or a little intention that they've got right now? Someone tell me theirs. What have you got? Leonie's considering it. She's considering telling me. She's got a consider face on.
So what's my purpose?
Yeah.
Because I organise events and have been for 10 or so years.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I love doing what I do, so I feel like my purpose is to create memories for others. So events, you can go from big music events, or social gatherings or whatnot, but at the end of the day, what makes me feel that I've done a good job is seeing everyone have a good time. So
yeah, cool.
Like my purpose is.
That's awesome. Seeing everyone have a good time.
Yeah.
So creating an environment for other people to have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so could your purpose be to have a good time?
Yeah, I have a good time too. I have a good time doing that.
Yeah. That's great, because creating memories for other people, that's something that's kind of located where you're in the future and the memories are in the past for other people. And so I want to know, what's the purpose that you could achieve right now? So maybe it's to enjoy yourself, because then you can, so whatever language it is, maybe use your own impact words, maybe enjoy. Maybe if you don't want to use the word enjoy, you can be stoked.
Stoked.
And then you can make a little, I'm stoked. Like you're working at home, like, yes.
Stoked.
Have fun with it, stoked. Yeah, but the goal here is to just put some words together that inspire you and make you feel a sense of purpose right now. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be really simple. My purpose is to bring greatness for myself and others. To be great. Yeah. Has everyone got a little purpose or a little intention? The intention today is to enjoy myself. But if you haven't got one, use that. And then so next thing, because I can say to myself, the purpose of my life is to be a beacon of energy, to enjoy now. I can say it in a really angry way. Yeah, I know my purpose, but I'm clearly not living it. I'm clearly not enjoying now. Arms folded. So you got to feel your purpose. That's why we've got to come from curious, define the problem. Oh, that's what it is. That's what I'm scared of. And now we're going to feel my purpose and integrate that feeling, because that feeling is what we want. You feel uncertain, so you end up with the slab of cake in your mouth. You feel your purpose, or you feel that warm and fuzzy feeling. What is that feeling? Tell me about it. So what does it feel like when you embody, you put it into your body, this purpose of enjoy now? Where's the feeling located? No, I just want you to have a look inside yourself. Where's the feeling located when I feel on fire? When I feel my purpose? When I feel, where's it located? Has it got a size? Has it got a shape? That feeling? Is it warm? Is it like a glowing light, or is it? And then where's the location? Is there a color to it? And sit with that feeling and get to know where that's located, because that's the feeling that you can go to. It's a familiar one. You can just go back to a point in your life where you had an excellent moment. So everyone go do that. Remember, think of a memory where you felt on fire, where you just felt great, when you were really enjoying the moment. Think of that memory, go back there, feel that, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel what you felt, and go back there and think of it. And yeah, that was a great day. How did I feel? Where's that feeling located? What's the intensity of it? It's about 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. It's about a medium size. And if everyone's got that, jot notes down on that feeling. And I want you to just lock that in there and feel that purpose there. Feel that there. Because that's totally different to feeling sour. And then ask yourself, when you're in that flow state, what do you focus on? So I know, Emily, you're probably focusing on how hard this is. Why can't I do this? That might be the question you're asking yourself. Notice that why can't I do this isn't on this sheet. Yeah. So what do you focus on when you're in a flow state? Because if you bring some of these focus elements to you right now, you will start to have a whole different experience of this task that you've got for the rest of the day. And what do you say to yourself when you feel this purpose? When you feel this intention? And these are trigger words. What's the sentence you say to yourself? I know the sentence I say to myself is, I'm a effing big dog. That's pretty silly, right? But it triggers me. It gets me going. I'm like, yes, that makes me feel amazing. It's a bit silly, but it works for me. So what do you say to you? I'm a powerhouse. I'm a goddess. I'm God's gift to men or to women, or what else do you say to yourself that makes you feel great? Because this is going to be your trigger sentence, your big sentence that, yeah, I'm a freaking powerhouse. I'm a boss. I've got this. Something like that helps you remind yourself that you're amazing. All right, I want to hear someone's sentence, a few people's sentences. What's the one sentence you say to yourself that makes you feel incredible? The trigger sentence.
I am immensely creative and I will always find a solution.
I'm immensely creative and I'll always find a solution. That's awesome. And when you say that to yourself, do you say that often to yourself?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to
Cool.
try and say it more.
Okay, well, what's something you already say to yourself that makes you feel really good?
No, I don't really have one right now.
Okay. Well, I'm immensely creative, does that inspire you? Yeah, great. So those are the right words for you. So start saying that.
Yep.
I want you to get up in the morning, play some music and say, I'm immensely creative. Boom. And look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah. and G yourself up. I tell you what, guys, I am my biggest fan. Say, go you, Marvin. Before this, I was like, yeah, Marvin, you've got this. I was walking around my house. I was like, yeah, you've got this. This is going to be an amazing session. I wasn't saying to myself, oh, what if they don't like me? Oh, what if I forget what to say? Oh, I wasn't saying any of those things. Become your biggest fan. So feel your purpose. Then the next part is we need to get unreasonable. So I want some interaction from you guys in this part. We've got our rules of the game. I'm gonna rub them off. So the next part is we need to get unreasonable. So you got something you need to do. We've established that. You've got some reasons not to do it. Don't you? Yeah. You know, oh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. Well, get unreasonable. Give me some big reasons why you need to do it. And I'll write them here in this circle.
Sorry, reasons as to have to do it.
Big reasons why you need to do this thing.
Because I'm getting paid to do it.
Because I'm getting paid. Great. Shout them out. Go.
The reward.
Huh?
The reward.
Reward.
So the outcome of how good it is.
Is good. Give me more.
If I'm inspired, then the students will be inspired and they might survive staying inside for 3 months.
Give me some big reasons, big whys. Go. More. We're going to fill this up.
Sense of fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Fulfillment. More. Feel good.
Feel good.
Be successful.
Less stress.
Less stress.
Tick it off the list.
One more.
Proud.
Proud. Thank you for giving me one word. Awesome. So these are all your reasons why you got to do these things. This is you being unreasonable. This is you being unreasonable because, oh yeah, you know, I've got so many excuses not to do this thing. And then I've got, oh yeah, you know what? I've got the reward. I've got the outcomes. If I'm feeling inspired, students will be, I'll be fulfilled. I'll feel good. I'll be less stressed. I'll tick it off. I'll be proud. I'll get paid and I'll be successful. Wow. And so most people think that being unreasonable means that you overcome the reasons not to do something and you come up with reasons to do something that are bigger. And so you're still using reasons to do something. That's not being unreasonable at all. You're using all of these different reasons to do something. That's still thinking inside the box. You're just replacing it with different or more optimistic dialogue. And when I think of being unreasonable, I think of when I get out of bed. So I got out of bed at 5:30 this morning. And when I get out of bed, I have every part of my brain that says to me, I don't want to get out of bed. I need to stay here. I need more sleep. Oh no, this is really warm. And being unreasonable doesn't say, hey, I'll be fulfilled, da, 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 da. You see, being unreasonable really means I take my doona off, I swivel to the side, I put my legs over the edge of the bed, I stand up, I get my exercise gear on, I make my bed, I walk out, open the door, walk downstairs, flick the kettle on. I get the kettle, take it off, turn the tap on, put it under the water, fill it up, close the kettle, put it on the thing. I'm not thinking about fulfillment or these other reasons to get me to do these things. I just move my body because I say so, or because I do so, not say so. So I want to know if you're following along with this. Any what ifs, how abouts, buts coming up for you? Just disappear the reasons in my mind. Are you getting this? Are you following? Who's halfway there? Who's not all the way there? Because maybe you're a what if learner, and maybe you need to ask a question to get this in. Maybe you're a why learner. Because if everyone's there, then so you come up with all these reasons, and then all of a sudden you disappear it, and you just do the thing that you need to do. You disappear it and practice disappearing it. So you can feel your purpose. Oops. So you can feel your purpose, and then you get unreasonable and use that feeling to just go and do the thing you need to be doing. Yeah, those steps of what would a high performance person do. And in this section, there's why must you do this? So you give yourself a big why. Yeah, okay, great. And what could you be doing instead of this? Just note those distractions so you can park them off to the side. And then what will it cost you if you don't do it? Most people ask themselves, why is this so hard? But a better question is, what will it cost me if I don't do it? And then we move to step 6, which is what have you realized since taking some action? If you're out to write a 10,000 word assignment, maybe something you realize is, oh wow, it wasn't hard to write the first sentence. I just had to tap a few keys on my keyboard. Because it's going to be so And maybe another realization will be, oh, you know what? I didn't even use that introduction. I spent hours editing and getting perfect. How did this compare to your expectations? And what advice would you give yourself to the start? Oh, just go and do it. Come on, you'll be fine. And if you keep on getting the same, having to give yourself the same advice, you realize there's a pattern. And once you realize there's a pattern, you can give yourself the ability to change. And down the bottom there, it says action precedes clarity. So you guys want to be at step 6 straight away. You want to be real clear on exactly the assignment you're going to write, exactly the inspirational post you've got to create for somebody, exactly the event you want to run. You want to be at step 6, but it's like when you're calling a friend, can you put the numbers in the wrong order? You can't. You got to dial the numbers in the right way. And so bringing yourself along and taking action will bring you toward clarity. Okay, great. And those are some of those steps there. All right, so tell me, what have you guys got from this so far? I want to hear from you guys. How you feeling?
Feeling good.
That's good. What have you gotten from this so far? Have you got any questions? What ifs, how abouts?
I've learned that, less excuses and more action. You kind of waste time making up excuses to decline things. So just get straight into it and park off that distraction.
Yeah. It's funny how we do this stuff, isn't it? It's so easy to say it right now as well.
Yeah.
And right now, it's very easy for us to observe it. We're at the moment, it's like we're in the stands of a football game. And we're watching the people down there play, and the people down there playing our own lives. And we're saying, oh yeah, you should just do that. Why don't you just kick the ball and score the goal? Why don't you just remove those distractions? Why don't you just reply to that email straight away? And the real game starts when we leave this call and you get on the court and you start playing this game in your own life. Where all of a sudden you're in a low state and you think, oh, and you actually make that move and start to hum. And then you start to look up because everyone spends all day looking down. You start look for answers. Because looking up, there's this thing, right? If you imagine someone who's depressed, what's their posture like? Slumped, probably looking down in the corner there. Oh. There's a thing, like when we're looking up, it activates a different part of our emotions. Looking up, we're looking for solutions. It activates more of the visual parts of our brain. So start looking up, get curious, look at solutions. Oh, this is what's actually going on. I got it in my little sentence. You get really good at this system and then focus on what you want. Integrate the right feeling that you want. Remember a time where you felt this, where you felt in flow. Bring that in. Write down the steps of what the high performance person will do. Get yourself on the logical level. Okay, this is what I need to do. Get yourself on the emotional front. So here's my purpose. This is why I need to do this. I feel really good now. And then get unreasonable. Just drop it all and just do those steps. Okay, oh well, the secret to happiness, this is what I do. The secret to happiness is to do what you said you're going to do, Marvin. So you might as well just do it. And so I make a sales call, a call that I don't want to make to someone. Or I go out and I promote myself to businesses or something like that. I do things that get me out of my comfort zone. So, okay, the secret to happiness is to do what you said you're going to do, Marvin. And that interrupts my pattern of saying, oh, but no, I don't have to do it today. You can do it tomorrow. And then I'm taking some action. And then I feel, wow, Marvin, that was easy. All you had to do was leave the house. All you had to do was pick up the phone, dial the numbers, make the call. All I had to do was pull up the email, read it, type some letters, type tippy tappy, and then all of a sudden I got an email and then press send to someone. All I have to do is pull up the assignment, read the marking criteria, and then I have tippy tappy on my keyboard, take notes on the marking criteria, take notes on some of the steps I've got to do, break it down a little bit, and then tippy tappy on the keyboard, a little bit more, creating a bare bones introduction. And then tippy tappy on my keyboard, here are some questions I could answer and some more research. And then you got some clarity at the end of it. So during this process, what's not present? What is not present in this? If I'm saying feel your purpose and feel it now, feel it in a certain way, you might feel it in a different way to you felt it yesterday. So one thing that's not present during this is you're not comparing yourself. Can you read that? Yeah. You're not comparing yourself to who you were yesterday or to how you felt in that moment. Because if you know what, I couldn't feel my purpose very much today. I couldn't really focus today. That's all of a sudden putting you straight out of that curious, playful state. Because you have an expectation around how you should be. Oh, this should be easier. So there's no expectations. I mean, you expect that you're going to have this done by 5 p.m. These posts today. You're like, and you're comparing yourself to how you normally do work. And then you're judging yourself. That says judgment. And you're judging yourself on, oh gosh, you know what? Today's not my day. I should be like this. It should be easier. And then you end up shoulding all over yourself. And so these are the things that are going to take you down. Oh, that's why I don't feel great. I was comparing myself. Here I am. And what compares you? It's something called your internal dialogue. It's that voice that's saying, when's Marvin going to speak again? It's that voice that's saying, no, that's not true. I don't need to feel my purpose. It's that voice that's saying, yeah, focus. Come on, I've heard that crap before. It's that voice that's saying, who is this guy? There's that voice that's saying, no, I can just check this email while we're on this Zoom call. He won't know. It's that little voice in your head that screws you around. So take this system, make it yours, and it's like brushing your teeth, this thing is, you know, this internal dialogue is going to be here with you forever. There's not a moment in time where you're not having a conversation with someone. You're either having a conversation with someone else, like me, maybe, or you're having a conversation with yourself. And you really think that you having a conversation with yourself enough. If I just think about it more, you can think your way out of a problem. But you can't solve a problem where you keep it. That's why take the notes on the page. Step 1, get curious, take notes. It's there. The system works. And however you take notes is perfect. Maybe you speak it into your phone and listen to it back and think, oh my gosh, who said that stuff? Can't believe I said that. Or maybe you take a video or a vlog. Okay, great. Well, that's starting to wrap it up now. I'd like to ask you guys, have you got any questions, comments?
I thought this was really great. I liked it. It's definitely going to help me stop over-analyzing certain things and breaking it down and stop comparing. I really like
over-analyzing. And where does over-analyzing happen?
When you're doing a task, you're like, what if this happens, or what if that happens, and you're setting yourself. And better just to get straight into it.
Yeah, what if questions. What is a what if question? Where does that lead you to? Or what if this goes wrong? What if it doesn't work? What if this person doesn't like it? Where does that lead you to?
Nowhere.
Nowhere? No, it leads you somewhere.
It leads you to a longer path.
Yeah, a longer path. It leads you to procrastination.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Here's my solution. Do nothing. And not enjoy doing nothing as well, by the way. Not enjoy your big fat slab of cake. Sucks the joy, sucks the satisfaction out of your life. Sucks the feeling of fulfillment out. Yeah, what else are you guys getting? Caroline, how'd you go with all this? What have you picked up?
I'm just thinking I gotta get to work now.
Gotta get to work now. Right, on what?
Well, I mean, I need to prepare for a meeting with my supervisor for 11 p.m. tonight. So yeah.
Okay, great. And how are you feeling after this session?
Well, I've been procrastinating that thing for a couple of weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And
What
it's
have you
always
learned?
like, oh, I won't have time. And then I make sure I won't have time. So
Okay. Oh, here's complaint. Complaint. Sorry, I forgot to write down complaint. That's great. You just mentioned it to me. Oh, I won't have time. This is a question for everyone. What is your number one complaint? Because this thing is ruling your life. What is the complaint you most frequently use? I don't have time. Time is my one, Caroline. I get you on this one.
but I mean, I don't necessarily feel it as a complaint. It's stressing me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then if it's not a complaint, what is it? Because it's giving you the feelings of stress.
Stressing me out, so then it prevents me from working because I'm stressed. So I do other things to remove that stress.
Yeah.
And then I have less and less time, and so I'm more stressed, and I do other stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just consider that it is actually a complaint that's running you there. It's a complaint about, I don't have enough time. Therefore, the time allotted is not big enough. Therefore, I feel stressed. I need more time.
Yeah. And also I think
But that's saying I need more time. That's not enough time. That translates into a bit of a complaint. You see that? Yeah.
And I think also it's a bad evaluation of times, because I have time. Like I feel like I need a longer time to get focused and do my stuff, but I probably have enough time to get prepared, but I feel I don't have enough time. But
Yeah. And in the meantime, you spend time complaining about how much time you don't have, and you don't use any of the time that you have.
Yeah.
Silly humans.
I know.
All right, Vicky.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, what did you get from all of this? What have you taken away?
Actually, while we were talking, I managed to write down a list of all the things that I have to do, because I had been finding it very overwhelming, because it was all coming very quickly. I've taken on some new responsibilities and they're a bit unfamiliar to me. So I was finding myself a little overwhelmed, but watching this and going through the steps and writing it down, like, it actually feels a lot better now, and I can definitely do the things I've been asked to do. It's just getting it all down, getting it organized.
Great. That's awesome. So Emily's, who goes first?
I'll go. I'm finding it interesting because I've found that I work with negativity more than positivity in terms of motivating myself. So instead of looking at the outcomes, I guess I always look at the consequences of not completing something, and that's what motivates me. So it's quite interesting to get a different outlook on how to tackle procrastination, and how, like you said, procrastination is our solution to the problem that we're actually facing. Yeah, I guess the different outlook is just very interesting to me, and something I'll have to look into and I guess help and ease myself into it, because I guess negativity has worked for so long in my life that to change it into a more...
Well, has it worked?
Negativity?
It's functioned, yeah.
Yeah, it has unfortunately helped, but I wouldn't say it's healthy. I guess in small dosages it's fine, but I shouldn't be relying on negativity to get me through some tasks.
You see, the thing about, like, in these questions, there's a bit of towards, so we're going towards our outcome, and we're going away from our consequences. And you might be someone who's purely away from motivated. So if here I've got this thing here, it's called a crap job. I don't want to do a crap job. I don't want to do a crap job. I don't want to do a crap job. And so I'll back away from it. but where am I going? I'm not going towards anything. I'm just going away from a crap job. Okay, this is good. This is far enough away from it. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be fat. Okay, this is far enough away from it. What if I say, don't think of a hippopotamus? You have to think of a hippopotamus in order not to. So that's the problem with this away from motivation, is that you're constantly thinking about what you don't want. You're visualizing what you don't want. You're visualizing how you don't want to behave. And all of a sudden, that's what your brain's focusing on. Just like, Emily, I don't want to take you out for a beautiful dinner with wine and cheese. You know, it's like, I don't want to do a bad job at this work. It just, our brain doesn't quite filter it right. It just naturally pops into our head. And so this towards motivation, so you do have a bit more clarity about where you're going. Because it's good to know a bit of both, but it's also good to know where you're going. Yeah, get that direction. How about you, Emily Mackey?
You've probably given me a new way to think about procrastination, kind of similar to Em, how like we kind of individually look at it at this kind of one way and it's our one problem, but you've kind of broken it down. So I can see that it's, you know, we're still going to procrastinate at times because we're humans, but you've given me ways to kind of think about how to get to my goal and frame my mind in a way that's a bit more constructive.
Great. I'm glad. Yeah, procrastination is not the solution, because that's how you're actually storing it. Big solution. You think it's a problem, but it's hiding behind a mask. Wahaha. All right, Janice or Ria, are you both here? I'd love to hear from what you got from it. If you're here, put your microphone on. Give me a shout. They're not here. Okay, great. Has anyone got any more questions? Anything else that you want to, anything burning inside of you? Anything that what are you saying? What are you saying to yourself right now? Because you might have some of these things come up. Okay, we're coming to the end of this session now. Now I've gotta do it right. You might be having some big demands, setting yourself up for failure again. This expectations for how you need to behave after this, you might be setting them really high, real high bar. That's great. That'll work for me. And you get another excuse to beat yourself up and put yourself out of curiosity. So see how this all works? It's like, oh, okay, great. We practice. Okay, expectation. Cross it off. Okay, release it. What are you saying to yourself? Otherwise, we'll finish it up. If there's anything else. Did you get value? Did you all get something from this? Did your hopes and desires all come true for what this session was going to be about? Fantastic. Wonderful. That's amazing. Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me. I feel very privileged to give you a team consultation at ActivateUTS, as well as have a couple of students in here. Caroline, you have time. You've got time, girl. You've got this. You've got this. Yes. And so do the rest of you. So thank you so much for having me. I really feel privileged to be here with all of you.
Thanks for presenting, Marv.
Yeah, that's great. So got to get to work now. Absolutely. Good.
But everyone enjoy their day. And yeah, thanks again, Marv.
Thank you.
It's okay. See ya.
See ya.